I got dressed up fancy because I'm going to talk about Gothic fiction. That makes sense, right? Sometimes you're watching a video and someone says something that's so brilliant and succinct and connects so well in your brain that you have to stop what you're doing and immediately make a response video. Or at least start the process of putting your thoughts together to make a response video if you're like me and you need time to figure these things out. Alicia's video from a couple days ago about uncanny comfort really resonated with me. Specifically near the end, she said, and I quote, "I think art can be a safe way of navigating the tension and harmony of these seemingly opposite feelings." The opposite feelings she's referring to in that moment are violence and pleasure. Just talking about the relationship between those two things in the TV show Killing Eve. Also mentioned them in regards to Gothic fiction. I love me some Gothic fiction. And I've never really been able to give words for how I feel about it or how it makes me feel and how I enjoy it until I heard the words uncanny comfort. And I was like, that's it. So thank you, Alicia. All this to say, the video inspired me to talk more about a book I mentioned briefly in my Sleepy video, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Spoilers for Bram Stoker's Dracula. This book was published in the late 1800s. It might not surprise you to learn that there are definitely some racist and sexist and problematic thoughts in this book. All that being said, I still do really enjoy this book. Makes sense with that. Both because I like the format of it. It's told in collected diary entries and letters and some newspaper articles. I'm a real sucker for that structure in a story, it being somebody's journal or them recounting events. And I think Dracula does it really well in how it uses multiple perspectives and sort of collects it together. I also like it because of that sort of forbidden something that comes in Gothic fiction. It's the idea of something being awful, both in horrible, like how we use awful usually today, but also awful as in you're full of awe. You are in amazement at this supernatural, beautiful, terrifying thing. I bookmarked two moments. First one is earlier in the book. Jonathan, one of the main characters, is in Castle Dracula and encounters three sexy vampire ladies. All three had brilliant white teeth that shone like pearls against the ruby of their voluptuous lips. Ooh. The ooh wasn't Jonathan, that was me being a troll. Anyway, there was something about them that made me uneasy, some longing and at the same time some deadly fear. I felt in my heart a wicked, burning desire that they would kiss me with those red lips. Jonathan's describing this feeling of knowing it's wrong to have this desire, but having it anyway. Later on in the book, Mina, Jonathan's wife at this point in the book, is recounting an interaction she had with Dracula, where he basically comes over and is like, "I'm gonna drink ya. I'm a vampire." And she says, "I was bewildered, and strangely enough, I did not want to hinder him." Waiting, because Jeffrey's coming in. Do, 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 do. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hello.
I feel like vampires in stories, certain kinds of vampires in stories, really represent the epitome of a guilty pleasure. It's something you're not supposed to take pleasure in. And especially with vampires, spoiler for vampires, they drink blood. It's grotesque, yet it's always, at least in this book and then in a lot of other forms of media, described to be sort of this really intimate and alluring act, which is weird and something I'm really interested in, and I kind of feel guilty. I'm like, what's wrong with me that I'm really interested in this kind of topic? I think it's so important that people have ways to work through these sort of complex emotions or experiences where they might feel shame or guilt about something because they think they didn't respond to something in the right way. Art gives us a way to work through that. I am definitely going to talk more about that. I was already planning on it before. I was like, I need to talk about it now with Gothic fiction because I've been inspired, but talk about it more in regards to a specific tabletop RPG that I really enjoy. So points to you if you can guess what I'm talking about. But yeah, I guess that's it. I am so bad at ending videos. Bye!